Jatt.
In this video, we will discuss the innominate bone that make up our pelvic girdle. Each innominate bone comprises of 3 bones. Let's consider this is the first innominate bone. And each innominate bone consists of 3 bones. The first one is this one. This is the ilium. This broad flat surface of this bone, this is called the ilium. This is the ilium bone. Ilium. Next we have ischium and pubic bone. So these 3 bones, ilium, ischium and pubic, they make up innominate bones. So each innominate bone comprises of 3 bones, and there are 2 innominate bones that make up the pelvic girdle. Now if you see this ilium, this is the outer surface of the ilium and this is the inner surface. This is the crust. This is the crust of the ilium. In the front, this is called interior superior iliac spine, and this is called interior inferior iliac spine. Likewise at the back, here, this is called posterior superior iliac spine. This is called posterior inferior iliac spine because these articulates with the sacrum at the back. I will repeat. Ilium comprises of an external surface and an internal surface. Internal surface is smooth as compared to the external surface. It has an outer border which is known as the crust. And in the front there are 2 spinous processes. The first superior one is called superior interior spinous process and the second is called superior inferior spinous process. Likewise at the back, this is called posterior superior spinous process and this is called posterior inferior spinous process as it articulates with the sacrum. Below this ischium bone, below this ilium, there lies a cup-shaped cavity over here. Here you can see a cup-shaped cavity. This is called acetabular fossa. Here you can see a notch. This is called acetabular notch. Here acetabulum articulates to form a joint which is known as the hip joint. Here you can see a foramen. So this foramen is called obturator foramen. Below this acetabular fossa, there is this thick bone over here, over which your weight lies when you sit. So this thick bone is known as ischium, and this tuberosity, this thickness over here is known as ischial tuberosity. So first bone is ilium, second bone is this ischium, and the third bone is pubic bone. This is the superior ramus of the pubic bone and this is the inferior ramus of the pubic bone. This is the body of the pubic bone. Likewise, there are 2 parts of innominate bones. So there are 2 innominate bones. As we have discussed the first side over here, same are the parts on the other side. If you see this other side, here you can also see this ilium, this acetabular fossa, ischium, ischial tuberosity over here. This is the spinous process. Behind this acetabulum there lies this spinous process. This is the ischium. Here you can see this ischial tuberosity, the ramus. This is the superior ramus, this is the inferior ramus, and these make up the pubic bone. In between there lies a foramen which is known as obturator foramen. The right symphysis pubis and the left symphysis pubis, they join together at this point. This is known as symphysis pubic. So in this video we have discussed the 2 innominate bones, 1 and 2. These 2 innominate bones, they make up the pelvic girdle. Each innominate bone comprises of 3 bones, the ilium, ischium and pubic. Ilium has the outer surface and the inner surface. Inner surface is slightly smooth and the outer surface is slightly rough. It has an upper border which is known as the crust. Then we have seen this cup-shaped cavity which is known as the acetabulum, where the head of the femur articulates and a hip joint is formed. Here we have seen this acetabular notch, and slightly below this we have seen a foramen. This is known as the obturator foramen. And below this acetabulum there lies the other bone, which is known as the ischium. It has this thick tuberosity which is known as the ischial tuberosity. And then the third bone we have discussed, the pubis. Pubis has two ramus, the superior ramus and the inferior ramus. These superior and inferior ramus, they have a body, and the right side of the pubic bone joined with the left side of the pubic bone, and at the center there lies a cartilaginous structure which is known as symphysis pubis. So in this video we will discuss the 8 landmarks of this brim. The first landmark is the sacral promontory. Here you can see this tubercle over the sacrum. This tubercle over the sacrum forms the first landmark, and this is known as the sacral promontory. Next, here you can see this wing-shaped structure similar to the wings of bat, and this is called sacral ala or wing. Here you can see this line which is in between the sacral ala and this ilium bone. This is called sacro-iliac joint because it joined the sacrum with the iliac bone. This is called sacro-iliac joint. First, sacral promontory, the first landmark. Second, sacral ala or wings. Third, sacro-iliac joint. And the fourth, this one. Here you can see this one. This is called iliopectineal line. This is called iliopectineal line. Here you can see this eminence. This eminence is called, this eminence over here, this is called sacro-iliac eminence. This is superior ramus. This is upper inner body of pubic bone. Last, upper inner border of symphysis pubis. Now we will conclude 8 landmarks of this brim. First, we have discussed this sacral promontory over here. This is known as sacral promontory, the first landmark. Second, this one. This is called sacral ala or wing. Third, this joint which is attaching sacrum with iliac bone. This is called sacro-iliac joint. So this is the third one. This is the first one, sacral promontory. Second, sacral ala or wing. Third, this line, sacro-iliac joint. Fourth is this one. This is called iliopectineal line. Here you can see an eminence. This is fifth one. This is called sacro-iliac eminence. This is the ramus, superior ramus. So this forms the 6th landmark, superior ramus. This is the upper inner border of body of pubic bone. This forms our 7th landmark. And this is the symphysis pubis, and the upper inner border of the symphysis pubis forms the 8th and the final landmark.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll